Most traders don't fail prop firms because of their strategy. They fail because of their psychology behind their trade.
Now, here's the thing. Your strategy is important, almost as important as your psychology, obviously, because if you have a mechanical model or an algorithmic model and it does not generate alpha, you're kind of beating. There's no point in psychology without a strategy that works. So what do you do for that? You go ahead and you backtest and you collect data. You can either run Monte Carlo simulations, anything like that. However you want to come up with your data results, you can do that. But you need data before you can really do anything. My name is Caden, and I've been trading for a little over 2.5 years now, and I've received over 100K in trading payouts through these proprietary firms, and I'm going to be going over why psychology is so important. You can have a profitable system and yet still blow through your funded account in one bad day. Here's how you can prevent that.
Prop firms are not just testing your trading edge, they're testing your discipline, your emotional control, and your ability to manage risk when money is on the line. Most traders think the challenge is about finding the right strategy, so they jump from system to system, indicator to indicator. But the truth is, a simple strategy with good risk management beats a perfect strategy with bad psychology any day of the week. All right, so this is how I break down my own risk management plan. This is what I follow. I trade on the NASDAQ, and I'm going to be going over the evaluation RR plan versus the XFA or qualified account RR plan. Now, your evaluation phase is essentially just probability plus behavior, and that is the outcome of your evaluation phase is the probabilities versus the behavior. So like I always say in every video, you want to be maximizing your wins while minimizing your market exposure. So in this instance for risk management, I took the Top Step 50K example of the rules just for a general, because most of these firms have the same rules. So in this instance, we chose a very popular one. You have a 3K profit target, 2K max drawdown, and a 50% consistency rule. Now, the good thing about sizing with one mini here is that you can have 8 consecutive losses. So for those that are still pretty new to trading, I recommend not sizing over one mini on an evaluation phase unless you really know what you're doing. That way you can keep your risk low. I always have a 12-point stop, so I risk $250, and my RR is always at least a 1 to 4. So that is going for $1,000. So you can lose 8 consecutive trades in a row when trading one mini contract on the NASDAQ, which if you lose 8 consecutive trades, I mean, that's a problem. It's more of a strategy thing. Or what you could do as a more advanced trader, if you kind of know what you're doing, you can hop on 2 to 3 minis. You can go for a 1 to 3R, and you can go target $1,500 with $500 of risk, and you can lose 4 times before blowing your account. Now, why is it important to stick to a specific risk management strategy? Well, it's extremely important because the reason why these prop firms make millions of dollars each month off of unprofitable traders is because of these rules right here. They seem like they would be pretty easy, but they weigh on your psychology. So if you can stick to a computerized, I wouldn't even say computerized, a more non-emotional based system that you've proven through back testing and data and etc., things like that, you'll be able to understand how these prop firms are making their money and how to avoid rinsing and repeating accounts over and over. Now, we're going to get into the probabilities of passing an account or achieving the payout stage based off of how much mental spend that you use during your evaluation phase. Now, this just means the more trades you take, the more exposed you are to variance. Now, the way I look at this is I like to go for 2 minis, and the idea is to pass these accounts in 2 trades, minimize my exposure to variance, maximize my win, and minimize my market exposure. You want to be in and out. It doesn't really matter the duration of your trades.
but this is typically what I target as ARR. Now let's get into what it would look like on the XFA or a qualified account, whatever you're trading on. I usually start um, So I usually start with one mini here. I always risk $250 or 12 points, and I target the same 1 to 4 RR, and I still have those 8 consecutive losses before I blow even in XFA because that also has the 2K max drawdown. Now, if I ever need to descale, as in, let's say I lose 2 to 4 trades, I would then descale down to 5 micros instead of one mini. I would cut my position size in half and trade from there. Now, if I go up and I'm up $2,000 on that account, then I add a mini. So for every $2,000 that I gain on the account as buffer, I add a mini contract. So it's a pretty basic, pretty simple scaling strategy that you can follow as well.
The next thing up here, we have the psychological traps themselves, the backbone of the prop firms. This is how they're able to make millions of dollars off of unprofitable traders. Things like revenge trading, overconfidence, fear of losing a funded account, FOMOing into a position, one oversized trade. They set these rules for a reason, not because they're required to by some regulatory law. It's to make you fail over and over and make you think you have a chance. You see, the 99% statistic is actually pretty accurate. The amount of people that are passing and making it to a payout stage without blowing their account is very, very minuscule. Reference back to this photo. These rules are carefully designed. You're more than likely to end up losing 4% of your 50K account than you are to make 6%. How do you fight that? By having a proper risk management system. Now, by applying what I've showed you today, you should never blow another account again due to FOMOing in a position or revenge trading. With that being said, this is only one piece of the large puzzle, an important piece at that, and I've effectively just given you the entire blueprint to follow to ensure that you're not blowing any further accounts. If you enjoyed this video, drop a sub and a like, and I appreciate you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.